many seasons now?
10 seasons.
And you had never seen it before you joined the show, yes?
I had seen it, but it's a very scary show. So
Why? Why do you say that?
Well, I mean, it's just creepy. There's lots of criminals and lots of death. And, like, my first day, I just found a limb on the ground, which is so not what I'm used to. Usually I massage limbs, and now they're just, like, dismembered and on the ground. So it's very scary.
Yeah. Hey, is it true that you once sent a bed to Matt Damon?
Yes, it is.
How did that happen exactly?
Well, I'm not a normal person. No, I was reading an article. I must have been like 19 or 20 years old. I was reading an article, and it was, Matt Damon and Ben Affleck had just like blown up big time, and so I obviously was, knew who he was, and was reading the article, and he said this really sad thing in the article about how all of his dreams were coming true in the business, and he was working really hard, but he didn't ever really feel like those days he had a bed of his own. Like, he was just traveling so much and everything. And I remember being really busy also and thinking, that's so sad, like, to have all your dreams come true, but to not feel like you have a solid foundation. So for some reason, I thought an arrow bed would help that for him.
There's a solid foundation.
Totally solid. But in my head, I was like, oh, he could travel with it, and then it's always his bed, right? And it's always like his safe place. I didn't go over it with anyone. Like, I should have hey, what do you think? Should I send this to Matt Damon?
Right.
He probably would have been like, no, you're crazy. Don't do it, But I didn't. So I just got the information. I said he was in Paris, filming something. And of course, now I'm like, oh, he was probably at the Savoy, at this giant suite, and here comes security with this little arrow bed from Yup Yup in Hollywood.
It to Paris.
I sent it to Paris, and I never got a thank you. I'm just saying.
Well, you know why you didn't get a thank you?
Well,
he's a creep. He's got no class. What kind of a person doesn't thank another person for sending them a bed?
It was really sad. It made me sad in my heart. I understand maybe his security never gave it to him.
It probably scared him, yeah. Wow, that's something. Well, shame on you, Matt Damon. I know he's backstage waiting right now. Shame on you. Jennifer Love Hewitt, the season premiere of Criminal Minds, Wednesday night, 9 o'clock on CBS. Thank you, Jen. We'll be right back. The Jimmy Kimmel